Something has changed in a way that the people who study relationships and the people who report on relationships and the people who build entire industries around relationships are only beginning to fully reckon with. Older men are not getting remarried, not because they cannot find someone, not because they are incapable of love or commitment or building something meaningful with another person, but because a growing number of older men who have been through marriage once have looked at everything that experience cost them and made a very clear and very deliberate decision. Not again. And the reasons behind that decision are more honest, more rational, and more psychologically sound than most people are willing to acknowledge out loud. This video is about those reasons, all of them, without apology and without the sugarcoating that this conversation has been getting for far too long. And if you already know what I'm about to say, then you are exactly who this video was made for. Stay until the end, because the final reason is the one that changes the entire conversation. The first reason is the legal and financial risk is simply too high. Marriage in the modern legal landscape is one of the most financially consequential decisions an older man can make, and divorce is one of the most financially devastating outcomes he can experience. Studies consistently show that men lose significantly more financially in divorce than women across almost every measurable category. Assets built before the marriage. Assets built during the marriage. Retirement accounts accumulated over decades of work. Future income through alimony obligations. In many cases, the family home that a man spent years paying for and that represented everything he had built with his own hands over a lifetime of sacrifice. An older man who has already been through this process once does not need to be told twice what the financial exposure looks like. He lived it. He survived it. He rebuilt from it slowly and at great personal cost. And he has absolutely no obligation to volunteer for it a second time when he has spent years painstakingly rebuilding what the first experience took from him. The legal system did not protect him the first time. There is no compelling reason to believe it will protect him any differently the second time either. And an older man who has rebuilt once knows exactly what it costs to do it again. The second reason is that older men have discovered what peace actually feels like, and they are not willing to risk it for anything less than something truly extraordinary. This is the reason that does not show up in statistics, but that every older divorced man who has rebuilt his life will recognize immediately and completely. There is a specific quality of life available to a man who is living entirely on his own terms that is almost impossible to describe to someone who has never experienced it. No walking on eggshells, no emotional unpredictability, no performance required, no constant management of someone else's feelings on top of your own, no wondering what version of the relationship you're going to wake up to tomorrow. Just a man, his life, his choices, in the quiet and profound satisfaction of a day that belonged entirely to him. Once an older man discovers that quality of peace, the bar for what he would accept in exchange for it becomes extraordinarily high. And most of what the modern dating and remarriage landscape is offering does not come anywhere close to clearing that bar, not even on its best day. And an older man who has finally found peace after everything it cost him to get there is not in the business of gambling with it carelessly. The third reason is that older men have watched what happened to their friends who remarried. Older men are deeply observational when it comes to the experiences of other men. They watch, they learn, they apply what they see to their own decisions in ways that most people around them never notice happening. And what a significant number of older men have watched over the past decade is a pattern that repeats itself with uncomfortable consistency. A friend remarries. The friend seems genuinely happy for a year or two. And then the familiar signs begin to appear. The stress returning, the financial pressure rebuilding, the gradual erosion of the independence and the peace he had found after his first divorce. And then one of two outcomes follows. The second marriage becomes as difficult as the first, or the second divorce arrives and the look on that man's face when it does is something his friends never forget. The financial and emotional cost is even higher because there is less left to lose and significantly less time left to rebuild from nothing again. Older men who have watched that happen to someone they genuinely care about have drawn very rational and very personal conclusions about their own future. And those conclusions are not going to be talked out of by anyone, regardless of how the conversation is framed. If this is hitting close to home right now, hit the like button and drop a comment below. Tell me whether you have been through this yourself or whether you are watching someone close to you navigate this decision right now. Because this conversation needs to happen openly, and the algorithm buries it every single time. Keep watching, because the next reasons are the ones that nobody is honest enough to say out loud in any other space. The fourth reason is that the institution of marriage no longer offers older men what it once did. There was a time when marriage represented a genuine and mutual exchange of value for both people entering it. Stability, companionship, a shared life built towards shared goals with genuine investment from both sides. But older men who have been through the modern version of marriage often describe something that looks very different from that exchange. A dynamic where the expectations placed on them were clear, constant, and non-negotiable, while the reciprocity they received was conditional, inconsistent, and subject to change without notice or explanation. And when an older man who has already given everything to that dynamic once asks himself honestly whether the institution as it currently exists is worth entering again, the answer for a growing number of men is simply no. Not because they have given up on connection or companionship or love, but because they have given up on a specific legal and social arrangement that consistently and predictably cost them more than it gave them. And experience is the only teacher that makes that lesson permanent. Everything else is just theory that has not been tested yet. The fifth reason is that older men have finally given themselves permission to choose themselves. And once an older man gives himself that permission, it becomes almost impossible to take back and almost unthinkable to surrender voluntarily. For most of their lives, the older men who are now choosing not to remarry were operating under a very specific and very deeply embedded set of social expectations. Find someone, commit, marry, build a life around that marriage regardless of what it costs you personally. And those expectations were so thoroughly internalized that most men never stopped to question whether they were actually in their own best interest or whether they were simply rules handed to them by a world that needed them to follow without asking why. But somewhere after the divorce, after the rebuilding, after the discovery of who they actually are, when nobody is making demands on their time, their identity, or their energy, these men found something they were never supposed to find. The realization that their own life built entirely on their own terms is genuinely and completely enough. And that realization does not make them selfish. It makes them free. And freedom, once truly tasted, is one of the most difficult things in the world to voluntarily surrender for anything less than something genuinely and undeniably extraordinary. The sixth reason is that the bar for what makes remarriage worth it has become extremely high, and most of what is available simply does not clear it. An older man who has been through marriage once, who has rebuilt himself after divorce, who has discovered genuine peace and genuine self-sufficiency and genuine contentment in his own company, is not going to remarry for companionship alone. He already has that in other forms. He is not going to remarry to have someone to come home to. He has built a home that he genuinely loves coming back to entirely on his own. He is not going to remarry to avoid loneliness, because he has learned the profound difference between loneliness and solitude, and he knows with complete certainty which one he is actually experiencing. For a man like this, the only thing worth remarrying for is a connection so genuine, so mutual, so deeply enriching, and so clearly and obviously better than what he already has, that the decision to enter that legal and financial arrangement again becomes obvious rather than reluctant. And finding something that clears that bar is rare enough that most older men who have set it there are genuinely and completely comfortable waiting indefinitely for it to appear, or not appear. Either outcome is entirely acceptable to them now, and that acceptance alone is perhaps the most powerful and most liberating thing an older man can possess at this stage of his life. The seventh reason is that older men understand time in a way that makes every decision about how to spend it feel deeply personal and deeply consequential. At 60, 65, 70 years old, a man does not have the luxury of saying, "I will figure it out later." Later is a concept that belongs to younger men who have not yet felt the weight of how quickly it disappears. Older men are living in the now of their remaining years with a clarity about how finite those years actually are that most people never develop until it is far too late to act on it meaningfully. And when a man with that relationship to time looks at remarriage, he is not just weighing the potential benefits against the potential costs in the abstract. He is asking a very specific and very personal question. Is this the best possible use of the time I have left? And for a growing number of older men, the honest answer to that question is no. Not because love is not worth time, not because connection is not worth pursuing, but because the specific arrangement being proposed is not worth the specific and irreplaceable time being asked for at this specific and unrepeatable stage of life. And an older man who truly understands the value of his remaining time is not going to spend a single day of it on anything that does not deserve it completely and without question. Here is what the decision not to remarry actually represents when you look at it clearly and honestly. It is not fear. It is not bitterness. It is not the inability to love or commit or build something meaningful with another person. It is not a wound that needs healing or a wall that needs dismantling or a problem that needs solving by someone who was never asked to solve it. It is the application of hard-earned experience to future decisions by older men who paid a very high price for that experience and who have decided that the price of repeating it is one they are no longer willing to pay. These men are not closed. They are not damaged. They are not giving up on life or love or human connection. They are simply older men who have finally learned to value what they have built, to protect what they have found, and to require that anything new entering their life genuinely adds to it rather than subtracts from it. And that is not something to be fixed or talked out of or treated as a problem requiring intervention from anyone. That is wisdom, hard-earned, clearly applied, and entirely and unconditionally deserved. Comment your thoughts below and like the video if this said something that needed to be said.